never want to leave the scene of a goal without taking an action step. I call those small wins, because these small wins turn into, we made $22,000 last month on land payments. Like, that didn't happen overnight. That was a lot of work.
Hi, I'm Maud Leger, and this is the Realtors Conspiracy Podcast, where we crack the code to real estate success. Learn from top realtors, entrepreneurs, and innovators about how to grow your business as we discuss real estate success stories, mindset, processes, motivations, and the key to their success. Check out our podcast episodes every Monday to crack the code to success for your real estate business. This week, I'm speaking with Brent Bowers from thelandsharks.com. Today's chat is all about passive income through land. Brent shared how he coaches realtors and real estate investors on how to buy land and generate passive income. He also shared how taking charge through action and focusing on income-producing activities has helped him close more deals and grow his business. Let's get to my chat with Brent. Hi Brent, thanks for joining us on the episode today. Tell us, how can real estate investors stay on top of their game?
Oh man, so thanks for having me, Maud. I'm excited. One of the best ways for real estate investors to stay on top of their game is to always be taking action.
Nice.
You know, I got the victory bell. There's a reason why I have a rhinoceros on my wall. It's because we're always charging. Rhinos have 3-inch thick skin. We've always got to be charging and moving forward. What do I mean by that? You know, if you're a real estate agent, you need to be out there, marketing, working your farm area. Like, what's the difference between branding and marketing? Marketing gets us paid. Branding is like, maybe one day I got this billboard. Coca-Cola does a lot of branding. McDonald's does a lot of branding, but marketing, we need to get out there and get paid. When I was a brand new real estate agent, guess what we did? We knocked on doors. We talked to people. We went to real estate meetups. We had open houses. But, a lot of that stuff is kind of the past. So how do we keep charging as real estate investors, real estate agents, is be out there charging and talking to people, like getting letters out and making cold calls and text messages. So I guess that was a really long answer. Multiple things to do.
Yeah, having day-to-day action, you're right, with marketing to make sure you're getting the sales and getting moving.
Action, there you go. You hit it on the head. Action, that's the word I was looking for. Take action daily and be very specific in that action. Like, does answering emails get us paid? No. Most of the time, the emails is something like a to-do list in my inbox. Like, usually if you send me an email mode, it's probably going to be something I need to do. But let's take action. Who gets us paid? Sellers and buyers. Those are very actionable steps. Like, how do we talk to more sellers? And then how do we talk to more buyers?
Nice. Thank you. And then you work a lot with real estate agents and real estate investors. So tell us a little bit about your process for that.
Yeah. So I love working with real estate agents because I do a lot of buying and selling land in the United States. So I work with a lot of land specialist real estate agents. How do I find the land specialist real estate agents? I look at the land parcels that have sold, and I see who it was listed by and who it was bought by. And then guess what? I'm going to call those real estate agents that I'm seeing on there, and I'm going to click multiple ones. And if I see Mode is the one that keeps selling all the land in, Kansas, Kansas City somewhere. Okay, Mode, hey, I'm looking at buying this 5 acres. What do you think the blowout price is? What do you think the 30-day get it done now price is? That's how I work with a lot of real estate agents to help me sell this land, because they list it for us. Now, on the other side, I teach a lot of real estate agents how to buy and sell land and create a business around it that gets them passive income every single month by selling land on seller financing.
Okay, so that was my next question then. How can realtors or investors really generate passive income with land?
So yeah, I teach people how to go and find a market, how to find a market where there's high demand. We don't want to go out and get land at a discount somewhere, because most of the time, like, we can get land in the middle of nowhere in the United States. And now I don't buy any land in Canada. I just want to be very transparent about that. I teach people how to buy land in the United States. I'm personally in the United States. Actually, at the end of June, we're going to leave the United States for a little while and go travel. But you could do this from anywhere in the world. Like I've seen my students make an absolute killing in their own backyard, within about a 2.5 hour radius. And I have also students that are like stationed in Germany, like they live in Canada, they are stationed in Korea. I teach a lot of veterans, military people how to do this as well. So how do you make money with land? We go to areas where there's high demand, and this is what I was getting at before, and we make offers to landowners that own land in that area. And we get this land at a crazy discount, like a maximum discount. We get it like, most of the time less than 50 cents on the dollar. And we get it under contract and we sell it for a little bit more. Sometimes we assign our contract by wholesaling the land.
Okay.
Sometimes we buy it ourselves and sell it to someone for payments. And that's where the passive income comes from. It's not mailbox money. There's no mailbox needed. It comes every single month into our account because they're making their payment because they want to pay this land off. Our buyer is, that is.
Yeah. So I guess instead of buying the land, holding it, and waiting to be developed, you're just doing the quick turnaround, right?
Exactly. I'm not a developer. I'm not a builder. I'm buying it at a discount and selling it to someone else for a little bit more, or selling it to someone else that wants to make me payments.
Yes, long term.
You got it.
And then what's the process of your course? How do you get people into it, or how does that work?
Yeah. So the whole process, I teach people again how to go into these markets, and I'm doing it step by step. I do videos on how to pick the market, how to find the demand, and then how to price out the land, how to figure out what it's selling for by the acre, what it's selling for by the square foot. And then we do a very, systematically, we go and pull the list of landowners. We use a system called PropStream. If anybody wants to go and start pulling landowners, go to the landsharkslist.com. You can pull a list of landowners today. And once you figure out what that land is selling for, you want to send them either a land offer letter, basically a purchase agreement. Remember, I told you they sign them and send them back, or you can send them a postcard. The postcard's super simple. It says, hey, my name's Brent, or whatever your name is. My name's Mode. My name's John. My name's Ricky. I'd like to buy your land on 123 Main Street. If you're interested in an all cash, fair price offer, call me or text me. God bless you. And if anybody wants a copy of that postcard, just go to the landsharks.com/postcard. So again, we're picking the playground, picking the area where there's demand, where the land's selling. We're figuring out what the land's selling for, how much per acre or square foot. And then we're pulling a list on PropStream of landowners, and then we're sending them a postcard. We want to get that phone ringing and take those phone calls and see who'd be interested in selling their land. Now, granted, we got to get this land at a crazy discount. We got to get it at a discount so we can sell it to someone else for a little bit more, or buy it ourselves and 3x our money. So what do I mean by 3x our money? Now, if the land's worth like $30,000, I don't want to pay more than $10,000 because I need to create value, right? I'm not developing this land. I'm not improving this land. I'm not even cutting the grass. I'm just putting it on the internet and selling it to someone else that wants to make me payments or assigning the contract. And guys, like anybody listening to this, like why land?
Yes.
There's like virtually no competition.
Okay, so you don't go after land that's already listed. You find the owners, you contact them, you do a deal with them, buy the land, and then sell it.
That's right. Now, I don't go after land that's already listed, but what I do I like talking to realtors that list houses, or there may be Zillow Premier agents, and they're spending a ton of money on Zillow and advertising. So I'll send those realtors a little video. I'm like, hey, my name's Brent. I'm the #1 land buyer in your area. Send me all your land deals. I'll pay you a commission. And oh, by the way, if I buy the land, I'll even list it with you. So what do realtors do? That like a lot of times they throw their land deals away. Like they don't even list it. But I get free land leads all the time from realtors.
Okay. And then what do you say to people if they're wanting to do the investing course with you, or wanting to do it, but they don't have the income to get started? How do you get them started?
Yeah. Well, I just showed you that example. That cost me nothing to send a realtor a video saying, hey, My name's Brent. Hey, I do land in your area in West Palm Beach, Florida. Send me any land deals you come across. I'll pay you a commission if we buy the land. And oh, by the way, if we buy it, I'm probably going to have you list it for me.
Nice.
That's a free way to get started. It's a free way to get land deals. And a lot of times I joint venture with other brand new land investors. They'll send me land deals. And I have one guy named Andrew Bond. He probably did 3 or 4 land deals before he even came into the Land Sharks because he couldn't afford to, pay for the coaching. I coach people. I charge people to show them the systems exactly step by step on how to do it. Can you do this by yourself? Yes, absolutely. But I'm here to save you from making mistakes. I'm here to compress time frames and get you to the result way faster than I was able to.
Nice. That's amazing. That's a good point, though. What are like the most common mistakes that real estate investors do?
Yeah, I'll tell you, the number one common mistakes I see a lot of people doing is they are not being intentional on doing income producing activities. Here's what I mean by that. They're not sending offers to landowners. They're not picking up that phone and texting realtors a video message saying, hey, my name's Brent. I'd like to, team up with you. I'm the #1 land buyer in West Palm Beach, Florida. Send me your land deals. I'll pay you a commission. And oh, by the way, if I buy it, I'm probably going to have you list it for me as well. So that's a mistake. They're not doing income producing activities. They're sitting all day on their emails and responding to emails and being that amazing text responder, and they're answering all their phone calls. They're developing their business card. Like, who cares about your business card? And let me just, I'm going to be a little bit direct right now. I hate when people give me 15 business cards. Like, you think I'm going to go around and hand these to all my friends? I don't even know you. You just handing me 15 business cards. Like, you know what I do with those? I throw every one of them in the garbage. So if you're listening to this podcast and you're one of those people that hands out business cards and you give more than one, stop wasting your time and your money.
All right. Okay. And then tell us about your course. What are the topics you go through with your course on real estate investing?
Yeah, thanks for asking, Mode. So I had mentioned that I do a video series. Basically, I give videos exactly the systems that I use, how to pick the area, how to price the area, how to figure out what the price per acre, price per square foot, everything direct from A to Z. And it's action based. Basically, I'm giving you the action steps to take because you got to take those steps. And then we do weekly support calls. I gave you my cell phone number because you're going to have struggles. You're going to have roadblocks. You're going to have hurdles. So we want to be there to answer those questions for you when you come across them. I also have my assistant coach that sits in our support group all day long, 7 days a week. No, I should say 7 days a week. I think he takes Sundays off. But answering those questions and getting you over those obstacles, because when we start out, there's always going to be a roadblock and there's always going to be problems. I hate calling them problems, actually. There's always going to be challenges for us to solve. We're problem solvers. That's why we're paid the big bucks as real estate agents. I'm not a real estate agent, by the way, and investors. So, being a real estate agent is hard work. You have all those continuing education hours and courses. It's way easier for me to be an investor, and teach other investors and real estate agents
how to invest. What would be the most recurring questions? The same 3 most recurring questions you ever get?
Yeah, I'll say, how do I price this land? A lot of people are wondering, how do I figure out what the land is worth? Well, most of the time, it's pretty easy to find that out if you go on Zillow or Redfin and select that area, and you want to look at what's sold in the last 3 months. A lot of people will say, well, there's one listed for this much over here and then one listed for this much over here. And I say, is that for sale? Yeah, it's for sale. It hasn't sold yet. I don't care then. Like, you can ask for one thing and usually you get another. I want to see what's sold because who creates the market? It's the buyers. If no one's buying it, I don't want it either. And if nothing's selling, I'm not going to go in that area because 1, there's no demand, and 2, we can't figure out what it's selling for. So that's probably the biggest question. How do I figure out what it's sold for? So you can look on Redfin and Zillow at comparable parcels of land, because land's pretty easy. This one has granite. This one has a pool. No, it's land. This one has dirt. This one has dirt. This one's sold for this much. This one's sold for that much. There's not much to it. And then if you really want to get technical, if you click on all those solds and see that Bob Brown is the one listing all the land in Brownsville, Tennessee, guess what? I'm going to call Bob Brown and say, hey, here's this parcel I'm looking at. What do you think is the 30-day blowout price? What do you think the get it done now price is? And Bob Brown's going to be like, oh yeah, this one's next to, sewer lines and there's electricity at the lot line. Yeah, I think this one's worth about $37,000. Perfect. Thank you, Bob. I'll call you when I own the land. Do you have a buyer for it by chance?
All
Bob
right.
says, yeah, I do. I got buyers all the time. Hey, Bob, are any of your buyers needing financing? Do they want to make payments on this land? Bob's like, man, I had a buyer the other day that didn't qualify for the loan. He had $6,000 down and he can make $550 a month payments. Bob Brown, let's go ahead and get this person locked in. Now I have the buyer before I even bought the land.
Does your program also work if the land is way more expensive in different areas? Sometimes
Absolutely. Yeah, we're making offers at $750,000 on some land. And here's what I love about that land. If I get a 5% discount on a $700,000 parcel of land, that's a pretty good profit. There's a pretty good difference that I can make. Now, if I'm looking at a $7,000 piece of land, I probably need like a 90% discount. So it's way easier to get a smaller discount on a more expensive parcel of land and make $100,000 than it is to get you can still get a discount on a $7,000 parcel of land. I mean, sometimes we get those for free, but the most I can make is $7,000 on that parcel of land, no matter what the discount is. Now, if I get a 5% discount on $1 million parcel of land, do the math. Like, I need a calculator for it. So $1 million times 5%, that's $50,000.
And then what would be the best advice you've ever received?
The best advice I've ever received is, I already gave it on the podcast because I didn't create this. I don't claim to be the smartest person. I just do what smart money does, like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, the guys that I've seen in the news since I've been in elementary school. There's a reason why they're buying all this land right now, because they're smart and they're billionaires. Like, they make a lot of money, so they make good choices with money. But the best advice I ever received was, when you're trying to build your business, when you're trying to earn additional income, when you're trying to make more money, and I assume that's why you're listening to a podcast like this, or anybody's listening to a podcast like this, is do income producing activities. My phone is on do not disturb all day long. And I'm sure I've got some missed calls and some text messages, but I'm doing income producing activities. I'll get to those messages later. I'll check those emails later. Like, I check email like every 3 days. When I used to check email all the time, it's because I was killing time. I didn't want to talk to sellers. I didn't want to talk to buyers, because that's what pays me.
How do you get motivated to do those income producing activities?
Just time block it. You got to time block it. We're never motivated. It's like going to the gym. Eventually, if you go to the gym enough, I've now been going to the gym for 3 years straight, like clockwork, Monday through Friday. I drop my children off at school. If my children don't have school, I don't go to the gym. I drop my children off at school, either me or my wife, and automatically my vehicle drives to the gym. Am I always motivated? Heck no. More like 99% of the time, I'm not motivated. But once I walk in the door, my body knows what to do. It's a habit.
Very cool. So tell me more about your time blocking, and then what are your non-negotiable other than the gym and your income producing?
Yeah. So what is time blocking? I always used to hear time blocking. Like, what the heck does that mean, Brent? So time blocking, if I shared my screen right now and I showed you, you'll see that I have specific things. Like, tomorrow I have time blocked for gymnastics. My children get time blocks. Me and my wife, like Friday, when we go on our date day, like time block like that. I'm blocking time in my schedule for that specific thing. I time block to speak to my accountant every Monday at 10:15 a.m. And we're going to talk about a couple of things, but it's going to be for 15 minutes. What does my net worth look like? Has it increased or went down? What do expenses look like? What's in the accounts? Like, we're implementing profit first. I shouldn't say we're implementing it. We're adjusting profit first. We implemented that. So we time block to speak. If not, it doesn't happen. And let's just say you're just starting your business out. You need the time block to reach out to sellers, or whether it be phone or mail or text messaging. And it doesn't have to be crazy amounts of time. It could be 20 minutes a day.
Yeah. And then making those 20 minutes extremely efficient and productive and calling and going door knocking, like you said.
That's right. Today I had to work on a presentation. I time blocked for it. I time blocked 1 hour. And I made a big mistake. I left my office door open during that time. And people came in and asked me questions. And guess what? My time block got interrupted because I allowed it to happen. Usually during time blocks, you turn your phone off, you turn your email off, you turn all the chirps off, you get Facebook off your phone, and you shut your office door.
Yeah, avoid distraction. Love it.
There you
What
go.
do you tell investors when they want to get started with investing, someone who's never bought land? What do you tell them how to start?
So I'm going to combine this because I did not forget your question. What are my non-negotiables?
Oh,
So it's the same thing as my non-negotiable.
okay.
You have to set action steps. You have to get the small wins daily. How do you get those? You time block it. So you start out by picking that playground. You pick that area. Some real estate agents call it the farm area. And then next, you have to figure out what area you're going to farm. I prefer the area where it's got the most demand. How do you know where the demand's at? Well, you look where the land's selling. You look where the houses are selling. And then you come up with a plan each day. I'm going to reach out to this many homeowners or this many landowners. I love mail because I have it go out automatically every single week. 500 letters a week go out every single week, whether I'm dead, alive, or on vacation. It's going out. So you want to set up these systems that will happen with or without you.
Nice.
So that's my non-negotiable. And that's what I tell brand new people looking to get started. If you notice, I didn't say go out there and listen to YouTube or listen to more podcasts. You already found the best podcast. Now take action. One of the things, like if I'm talking to myself from back in 2016, when I was listening to podcasts and just trying to start my land business, here's one thing that got me over, one day I'll start, to holy crap, I just made, $150,000 in land this year, was I listened to the podcast and I would write one action step I heard from that podcast. I would take 30 seconds to write that down, and I would take the next 30 seconds to put it in my calendar, whether you use your phone or a hard planner, a daily planner, is to time block it within 24 hours to take a step. Because Tony Robbins talks about this. You never want to leave the scene of a goal without taking an action step. I call those small wins, because these small wins turn into, we made $22,000 last month on land payments. Like, that didn't happen overnight. That was a lot of work. Like, I had to send the mailers. I had to talk to people. I had to go to the title company. I had to sign checks, all these things.
Yeah, that's amazing. Taking actions, making it income producing, and time blocking it is just the key to success. So tell us, Brent, where do we find more about the Land Shark? Where do we contact you?
Yeah, thanks so much for asking. Every single day, I do a video on TikTok. My TikTok handle is Brent L. Bowers 1. But every day I do a video on TikTok telling people how to make money with vacant raw land. That's the easiest way to find me. If you'd be interested in me holding your hand and teaching you the steps, doing the coaching program I already mentioned, go to thelandsharks.com and schedule a call.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I'm sure that's a lot of advice that anybody from any market can take advantage of.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Maud.
Thanks for joining. If you know anyone who could benefit from investing advice, please share.